What's going on, y'all? It's J Small Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you another predictions video today, this time for a league I have not done a predictions video on before, and that is iBattle's Fallen Soldiers 3 card. Now, iBattle, league been around for a minute, and obviously they put in a lot of work last year, and then top of 2024, when a lot of people have said there hasn't been a lot of wraps and a lot of events, because there really hasn't, right? We know the battle rap conversations going on right now, the misery everyone's passing around, but they've thrown, I think it's going to be 6 events by the time we're done with February. So obviously been active anywhere from Spaces cards, maybe to some lower talent, putting some guys on, giving people some looks type of cards. And then you have Fallen Soldiers 3, which is just a very good card. From top to bottom, some matchups that I may not be familiar with both sides, but a lot of talents I know on, let's say, the bottom half of the card. And then when you get to the top half of the card, they got 3 to 4 good matchups here, specifically 2 top matchups that have a few different things to say about and can really help propel some young stars even more into the spotlight, because iBattle obviously is getting some of these guys over, man, that people are starting to know about the young talent that they got over there. So thought, why not do a predictions video? Before we get into that, a battle I wasn't going to do a whole review on, but wanted to mention Loso versus Your Honor dropped on the URL app iBattle. And what you would think hearing that at first is Your Honor's probably going to show up, not care too much, and Loso, being the more professional of the two, let's just call it what it is going to win that battle. But I gotta say, I watched it, man. Pretty decent battle. I thought Loso was stumbly throughout, but I still really like his performance in it. Had him clearly winning the first, but I had Your Honor winning the last 2 rounds. As quiet as it's kept, not very high impact, not the craziest thing, but Your Honor's low-key on a 3-battle win streak, man. He had the 1-rounder with stumbles that people liked. He beat Clean Paper in a whatever battle, and then he was pretty good versus Loso. I had him winning the second and the third. I know some people got Loso. It's a light little battle, a little 16 minutes, but I thought it was funny because most people probably don't know that Your Honor might have beat Loso. But little battle I want to talk about the start there, and now we can get right into the predictions for iBattle. So starting from the bottom of the card, we do have Roheezy versus Classic. And like I said earlier, a lot of these guys on the bottom half of the card might not know their names, but there is some standout talent here that I think you guys should check out. When it comes to Roheezy, I've seen some of his clips, not some of his full footage, so it's not really fair for me to just straight predict this battle. But I know that he has some comedy to his style, kind of like angle-based as well, just a more unique approach to battle rap. And Classic, for me, is one of the most underrated guys in the indie circuit. If you ask me, truly underrated, not a battle that we all know, and we just think he might be a little better than what he's getting credit for. I mean, someone that's maybe unknown or very low profile and really has the talent to do it at a higher level. I think Classic is one of those guys. Got really good OSBL footage. He's done pretty good on iBattle since he's been battling over at iBattle, battling next in the 1-rounder not too long ago. Did pretty good in that, man. A fan of what he does, and definitely think this is a good opportunity for him to have another one of those performances that get people mentioning his name, because I do think that he's got a little bit of a separating factor there, man. So big fan of Classic. Mike versus Lord Giovanni. A little bit of a mirror match here, you know what I'm saying? Gonna play to some of the nerdier elements of battle rap, nothing that I am not familiar with or accustomed to, right? But 2 good punchliners at that. I think I got Mike winning it, not overly familiar with either of their footage, but have seen both of them rap before, and real toss-up, but I can personally see Mike winning that battle. Black Mage versus Purely Deaf. Not familiar with Purely Deaf like that. Obviously, Mage is one of the more intricate pens that you have over there at iBattle, man. Human vs. Tech, not familiar with either of those gentlemen. Big Wok versus King Yoshimitsu. Now, this battle is all about energy. I know that Big Wok just won, shout out my guy Frank White. I think Big Wok won the Spaces Male Battle of the Year. So from everywhere on the Spaces, you know what I'm saying, people battling on Twitter, Big Wok won a money and award for that. But if you've seen him battle in person, battle Bill Collector, extreme energy is what he brings to the table. Very animated versus Yoshimitsu, who, in my opinion, also extremely animated, but probably a little bit more defined in terms of, bar structure and things of that nature. So I'd go Yoshimitsu, you know what I'm saying, at first glance, just being more of a complete talent, but Wok's got potential. And then you got last 2 here before we get into that top 2 to 3 sellers of the card. Archduke Red Cat versus Tariq. Archduke's alright, not familiar with Tariq in that particular situation, but Red Cat's obviously put a lot of work on iBattle. For those that don't know, you know what I'm saying, the lore over there, who's put in the work, who's considered the vets, the mainstay talent. Red Cat's put in a lot of work, so got to see what he does. And then Mozzie versus Kang. I feel like everyone's at least seen a Kang clip. very different, unorthodox approach to battle rap. One of his best battles I've personally seen is Kang versus Bill Collector. Bill Collector, what was that, on the Gates? I believe that was on Gates of the Garden. Another place where I know Kang has done more than a few battles at. He was really good in that. A couple different battles that he is really good in. And one of the few guys that when people do come from known names from other leagues, Kang ends up being a good fill-in name that even though the style is very weird in contrast to some others, he still lands some definitive haymakers in there. Still has got some of those iBattle, more comedic elements that he can use to his advantage. But a pretty good talent. And obviously Mozzie, pretty new. We just saw what he did recently with his versus Hansel after that rough KCJ performance. So we'll just see how he matches up here. Probably a match of haymakers if I'd expect here. A lot of punchline. And that kind of goes for, the bottom half of the card. And as you get into the more, very marquee matchups here, Eunice versus Nox was booked. I know Nox and Chunk just won 2v2 over there at Battle Academy, won some money. Everyone should know, most people, I should say, should know who Eunice is at this point. One of, if not the, just like most potential rookies that we currently have in battle rap right now. We know what he's doing on URL, but that battle ended up getting canceled if I'm correct, so that won't be going down. But then you get into Ryda versus Death the Kid. Death the Kid, shout out Tone Bro, you know what I'm saying, one of his clients that he manages, and he's been getting some, another one of these, very punchline heavy, but one of the better ones on the roster in my personal opinion. I like what Death does, and I liked Death and Excel on Max Out 3. For me, following what happened with Death versus Appa for the headband and the way that he lost that battle, and having a series of wins before that, Judge win over Preem, you know what I'm saying, that nothing not impressive about that, even if the quality of the battle wasn't that crazy. Also has beaten Fibo, so there's a couple, Judge wins and good things going for him. Appa matchup was really rough, and then you turn around with the Excel battle. I thought that was a good look, man. And the JC battle, granted, I kind of got him getting smoked in that one rounder. He wasn't bad in it though. He wasn't bad versus Danny either when he battled Danny. But now you get Ryda, and what's funny is that you'd think if he had those other one-round situations, maybe he'd be better equipped here. But being that this is Ryda's first battle off of URL, I believe this is going to be a 3-round battle. Should be a 3-round battle. There's going to be, even if it's not motivation, maybe, is Death the Kid going to bring the best writing out of Ryda? Maybe it's the situation of just finally getting out of, maybe a contract or a situation that you personally weren't a fan of like that, the opportunities you were getting. And no matter who the competition is in the first battle, you have to take advantage, have that kind of impactful, like, this is what Ryda's doing since he's gotten off of URL. And on top of that, we know that Ryda's talented and can reach some peak rounds. He's done it versus vets, versus a bunch of different talent. And I could see a world where their styles match up well, just going back and forth bar for bar. But I'm going to look at the more seasoned Ryda here that has a little chip on his shoulder for something not related directly to this battle that should still motivate him to do great in this battle. So for me, I got Ryda beating Death, but could be a goodie from there. JC versus JR. JR also one of, I'm not going to say straight up and coming. I mean, he's been on iBattle now for about a year or two, I believe. But getting, a bigger plate look here. And it's kind of crazy from, hearing JR rap at first in the spaces to now being, I'm not going to say one of the premier, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I put him up here with how they consider a Fibo, an Appa, a Los Preem, but somebody that's kind of on the brink of that and trying to break in. And it's tough though, because I do think JR is going to do good. But I just think that JC is a safe bet in a lot of these situations. Now, granted, it hasn't been as safe in the last year or so, right? I personally had him losing the clutch, although a lot of people got him winning. He was fire in that. I can't speak to him in the J2 battle. Can't wait for All Redemption 3 to drop. Of course, I'll be reviewing, if not all those battles, hopefully a bunch of them. But I heard that was a pretty close battle, so maybe that aura of JC just being a straight 99% chance when he's battling down, maybe it's not as certain as it used to be. But even if you look at his last few iBattle performances he's been really, really good. You know what I'm saying? And it's JR's first time, I believe, in person versus another, like, a name of this level in an in-person battle. So I'm going to go with JC, but I'm expecting JR to give one of his better performances and obviously put on for the brand. So, final two battles I want to talk about. As I said earlier, probably the biggest battles on the card, the most pop off the paper ones. But the one that excites me the most is not the main event, although very, very good in its own right. But it is Chef Trez versus Los Preem. Now, many people are getting hip to Los Preem. Obviously, after the Danny shot, which out of all the shots Danny gave, Los Preem might have made the most of it, especially from people that Danny battled in 2023. That one rounder was absolutely incredible, that performance, at the point that you got top tier battle rappers like Calico shouting him out, other battle rappers being put onto iBattle and seeing what they got going on. But particularly with Preem, like a few other guys here, not the craziest when I just say the base of style. He's a gun bar heavy back to back puncher, but just raw talent, man. Really might be the one with the most potential. And I think that's why there is that buzz around his name. And limited work on iBattle so far. Someone else earlier on the card, him and JR had an incredible battle together. He's battled Ace Amin on the platform, battled Danny as well. We know how great that performance was. And as I mentioned earlier, he may have even lost to death in a judge battle. So if you look at the track record, it's not like it's just, oh, he's just taking the game by storm. But when you really just watch the footage, man, it's understandable why Chef Trez would want to give him a look. And on top of that, with Trez, I done said so many good things about Trez recently, but one thing that I will repeat every time is no matter the league, the level, is something that he even says himself: top tier on a big stage, top tier in a small room, mid tier in a small room, or even just given a shot like this, you're getting the same level as Chef Trez. I mean, for whatever reason, the past 2 years, he's been rapping probably the best material that he's ever rapped, just regardless of the situation. Clearly, he's just in his zone. He's in a good rhythm. So you got a guy in Los Preem who's coming off one of his biggest looks yet, should have a lot of confidence in a good style matchup where we know Trez is just going to match up bar for bar. Now, the thing with Trez is he can do a little bit more, right? We know what he's going to do with the rebuttals. I think energy-wise and maybe even just uniqueness in the way that it's rapped and the way that he structures things. It's just what you get being a vet. You can just do a few different things. And for that reason, I do think he is going to beat Los Preem. I do think he is going to win this battle. But don't be shocked that this battle is amazing, or even if Preem's able to kind of match his energy. You know what I'm saying? I know that something that was seen in the Danny battle, the gas situation where it doesn't completely ruin the footage, by no means any of that, but clearly, Preem's going to get a lot of love on iBattle. I'm going to see if it's going to transfer the same way it did versus Danny. But even with the overreactions in that battle, his performance was still undeniable, so I'm not worried at all about him not being prepared for the moment or anything like that. But when I just see a guy like Chef Trez that is prepared for any situation and is really, it seems like, getting better with time, real top of the world battler right now, really at terms of rapping level, I don't think there's 5 guys you could say are rapping better than Chef Trez by any means. Look, you see the way that I'm talking about it. For me, very cool battle. I think it's going to be great, but I do have Chef Trez winning going in as my battle of the night pick, and that leaves you with the main event: Geechee Gotti versus Appa. Appa, the headband, the champ over here at iBattle, and probably has the most. I could be wrong because I know Fibo's battled a lot too, but Appa so far has got one of the bigger collections of top tiers over there, man. He's battled A-Ward in a 3-rounder, good look for him. Battled Rum Nitty in a 3-rounder, very good look for him. And now you have Geechee Gotti here in a 3-rounder. I do think it is going to be a little harder style matchup-wise. We talk about how Chef Trez got a little bit more maybe than some talents being seasoned. Geechee Gotti is the epitome of an all-around battle rapper, right? And you could say the same for Ward a little bit. And even Rum Nitty has some all-around elements, but we know very bar for bar wise. A-Ward's more along those lines, but when you look at Geechee, man, whether it's clowning, whether it's haymakers, whether it's angling, there's just straight disrespect. It just seems like he could tap into any bag in battle rap. And then when you also look at the performance he's gave so far in that 1-rounder versus Fibo, he treated him like he treated any other top battler, any battler. You know what I'm saying? Very similar. And I'm not going to say exactly like a Chef Trez who always gives it his all no matter what. You'll have a Geechee battle here, a couple rounds here. You might not give a fuck, but he's done really good on iBattle so far. For the most part, he's still giving you very motivated material, and I feel like for him to reschedule this even later, originally it was supposed to happen is Culture 6 battle, so it's even going back to 2023, but now it goes down. I do think he is prepared for the situation. I think Appa's going to do very good, as he does in all these. I don't see Appa getting killed at all. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to him and Preem, these are guys that I think are the closest to fully finding themselves in battle rap, from iBattle, of course, to compete at that higher level. But you got to show me. It's one of those situations you got to show me. I do think it's going to be a good Geechee. I would take Geechee 2-1. Same way with Preem. I'm giving Preem and Appa both around because I feel like at their peaks, they really can compete. But in terms of a long 3-battle long strategy, assuming they're facing motivated versions of Trez and Geechee, I just think it's a little bit too tall of a task, which is why I have Geechee Gotti winning the battle, but in another very good looking performance for Appa. But that is my full predictions here for Fallen Soldiers 3. Definitely a heavy card. And shout out to iBattle, all the work that they've been putting in. Plan on at least reviewing a couple of these battles. I really, 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 really want to review Chef Trez versus Los Prime. I believe most of these are 3-rounders. I would expect that. If they're not, might be a couple 1-rounders that slip my mind. But I am pretty sure that these are all 3-round battles. And like I said, Chef Trez versus Los Prime. We'll see how Geechee Gotti and Appa's looking. But definitely want to evolve more iBattle just coverage on the channel, especially when you see them not only bringing some names over to raise the stakes of the matchups, but when your talent is meeting up for that, right? You have a guy like Death the Kid that is finding himself on different leagues and different situations, familiarizing himself. A Los Prime who's clearly making his waves, and then an Appa who is now building up a very proper resume at that. So when you have different talents like that, and then a JR, a Fibo, like a real roster that's coming up, it's always worth viewing in a world where battle rap is looking a little more open for the taking than usual, right? I'm not subscribing to any of this. It's dead. It's any of that. It's too many of us that still love battle rap. How's it dead? You know what I mean? But in a world where there is that option for people to kind of snatch the respect and snatch some noise right now, really want to zone in and see what this young iBattle talent is doing, man. But you guys let me know in the comments down below for those of you that are tapped in with iBattle, who you have winning some of these battles. What do you have being some of the better battles of the night or better performances of the night? And for those that haven't, it's definitely worth the watch. Even if you wait all the way to the YouTube drops or whatever it is, they got some guys here that can really move some shit around and really get a couple wins here, shock a couple vets, and build their own profile, man. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, let me know what you think of the Fallen Soldiers 3 card. I'm gonna catch you on the next one, man. Peace.